Okay, so I'm getting like a couple minutes to myself, so I figured I would do my video real quick. This is just going to be touching base on the syllabus. So first off, we're going to go with always wanted to be a mom. I have always wanted to be a mom. I've never had a career path that I've wanted more than wanting to be a mother full-time. I am a stay-at-home mom, and silly or cliche as that sounds, I love it. I don't want to do anything else at the moment. I love being home with my baby. I am aware that not everybody has that opportunity, but from a very, very young age, this is all I've ever wanted. I love, more than anything, being a mom. So having this obstacle kind of put me in a shock mode. I don't know. I never thought that this would happen to me. My mom got pregnant. First try, both kids, no problem. My mother-in-law, same thing. She had a pretty easy time. My grandmothers, like everybody had this super easy time getting pregnant, so I figured it'd be the same for us, and it wasn't. And that's okay now. I wouldn't change what we went through to get here, but to preface that is all I've ever wanted, and then we got here was such a challenge for me. I'm not going to go into it any more than that because I don't want to take away from the video, but I wanted it so much. And the reason I decided to break this series up the way I did was because I just have so much to say per topic that I don't think I can squeeze any of them really together. Maybe a couple of them, but that's where I'm at with that. I have some notes. I'm working on remembering everything, but there's just so much. Secondly, obstetricians and gynecologists. We're supposed to go to them once a year, starting I think at 18. Used to be younger, and maybe it's older now. I just find that to be insane. I feel like you should go be able to get looked at younger. You have so many changes from the day you start your menstrual cycle onward, and the fact that they're not being monitored is insane to me. Now, after the fact, to be honest, younger, I was always afraid to go. It's just kind of uncomfortable, especially for a young girl. But I feel like you should just be monitored in that growth part of your life. It's so important. And the second part of that is that I feel like it's okay to shop around and find the one you like. I feel like you go to one because you know somebody or your mom works somewhere, and they just don't give you the level of care that you want sometimes. I have went through several that just want to give me a pill, and they don't want to talk about what's happening is happening. They want to just try to fix it, and I get it. But at the same time, I feel like there's always a root cause for everything. That's how my brain works. And second opinions are cool, guys. Go third, fourth opinions. If I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't be a mom right now. So if anybody is listening and is going through that, that is going to be what the second video is about and my story through that. Thirdly, I'm going to go into endometriosis. Had no idea I had it until the third gynecologist, and then I ended up getting a surgery. I will touch base on that surgery when that video comes, but it happens a lot, and you can't technically be diagnosed. There are signs, but without this keyhole surgery, and let me tell you, I was blown away in good and bad ways after I found out I had it, and then I dove into the information on it. It causes so many other issues than just infertility, and it makes sense through my life with stomach issues and headaches and other things. So that will be third video. For anybody that has that, I will try to get as much information as I can about it in that video. And if you have any questions or want to know something specifically in that video, let me know. I would eventually love to do a PCOS video. I don't have PCOS, but I know some people with it, but that won't be in this series. That might be moving forward, but I think it's equally as important. And then there are other fertility issues, obviously, that I want to incorporate, but those two seem to be so overlooked and underanalyzed. It's not even funny, but because I have endometriosis and I can tell you firsthand what I went through and the findings I had, I figured I would give a shout out to that. Fourth video is going to be about the surgery in general and regarding infertility and if you should have a surgery if you want to have a baby or not. There are some statistics stating that the surgery can make things worse. But then on the same note, if I wouldn't have had it, I don't think my body could have handled a pregnancy. So it's like a double-edged sword. But I want to discuss that. I want to discuss the diet I went on when I was trying to get pregnant with Andy. And then in the series, the series 2, the second series, I will go on the changes I've made from that moving forward. And then I want to explain why I'm going on a diet. There are many doctors that claim there are no studies that food affects your fertility. I strongly disagree. There's so many bad things in our food, and then changing those habits, I really think make a difference in our life, and I feel like that is not talked about enough. So that's going to be the fifth video, it looks like. Fifth or sixth video. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sixth video. Okay. So the seventh video is going to be on IVF and the mental health that got me there. Like, the mental struggles, I guess, would be mental health, that got me to accept IVF, and then the problems in between IVF, during, before, and after. The struggle, I guess. I wanted to document that part as well as IVF itself, because that's the part I was not prepared for. That you could be going through this and spending time and money and still not finding answers to your problem and not have a baby at the end. So I wanted to focus on that. That's going to be a pretty intense video. The video after that is going to be pregnancy for me, and my pregnancy did not start out awesome. The path there wasn't great, and the beginning was not great. It eventually worked out better, but I wanted to explain and note that a lot of people with IVF pregnancies do have some issues at some point. Not everybody, and not all the time, but a lot of the times there is, and I just find that to be so interesting, because statistically, women with infertility also have problems with carrying a pregnancy full term. So in my head, I have to think that there is something else that's causing a problem. I don't know. But I wanted to touch base on that and go through my story. And then also, another part to that video I want to put is like the anxiety of pregnancy after going through all of these things. Like, I felt like I did not relax one time in that pregnancy. I got myself a Doppler. Enough said, but I wanted to go over that. And then the end of my pregnancy, I wanted to go over what happened there and what led me to a scheduled C-section. Then the next video is going to be the C-section and my recovery. And if I would want to do it again. And then postpartum. So it's going to be like, I'm going to go 2 weeks from recovery, so postpartum to now. And how much my body's changed, and the things that went back to be the same, and the things that I'm still working on. Also don't feel like that's talked about enough. I do feel like it's supported these days, that you don't bounce back, which I think everyone's different. You just bounce back or go back when you're ready. But the postpartum that they didn't prepare me for was just like you just don't ever feel the same mentally. Like it was, and it is just it's like a huge lifestyle change in the most positive way there could ever be, and the most scary way there ever could be. I also wanted to note in the birth section, like some of the chemicals that are released when you have a baby, like the most biological, loving chemicals that just surprised me, like probably my favorite part of the entire situation. So I wanted to throw that in there. So then postpartum, then I want to do an entire video on PPD and PPA. If you don't know what that is, it's postpartum anxiety and postpartum depression. I think that a lot of women suffer from it. I know I primarily suffered from PPA. I wouldn't sleep. And I struggled with the anxiety of taking care of this baby and making sure nothing happened to her. And then I kind of felt like I wasn't taking care of myself, and I couldn't relax. So I wanted to kind of touch base on that, and I'm sure everybody feels that. But the one thing I hate is that everyone just says, well, that's just being a mom. Well, it is, but I just felt like mine was on a whole nother level. And my mom, who is a former labor and delivery nurse, she was like my biggest advocate for me then. She just kept telling me that, there are ways to feel better and you need to take advantage of them because nobody's going to do it but you. And this is a really hard thing. And a lot of women go through it and don't seek help or don't try to fix it, and it's really hard on them in the long run. And I want to really note that. Moving on, I wanted to do a video on babies from newborn and then till where I'm at now. And I want it to be a little bit of a lighter video, the fun with it. And I don't think necessarily IVF babies or babies that come from infertility situations are different than natural born babies, but they have a lot more scientific research stating that they could suffer from other issues. That's like one of the things that kept me up all the time. I struggled to get here, and then my kid has a higher risk for some things or might have a higher risk for some things. So I wanted to discuss that, but I wanted it to also be light and fun. So I would like to do that. And then in that video, towards the end, I want to do a small segment on wanting another one and like the guilt of wanting another one after I got this healthy baby. And this is crazy, but I used to pray that if I got one, I wouldn't ask for another one. And that is so silly. But I was desperate. And after I had Andy, I wanted to have more children for her and for me and for my husband. But I felt guilty because I have so many girls I know out there and that I've come across that just want one, and I felt guilty for wanting another. So I want to address that guilt and how to overcome it if you're one of those people too. And I'm still working on it, but I wanted to address that in that video. And then the next one will be household changes. I did a story today, about proper cleaning products. I will go into that obviously in much more depth in the video, but it'll be cleaning, personal use, food, baby stuff, dog stuff, probably too, because I have 4 of them, and I want them to live a long, healthy life as well, and why I believe that those changes will help. And then lastly, I want to do a video on a cesarean versus a vaginal delivery, and then I want to take a poll or chat with some girls on if a VBAC was worth it, or if they liked their repeat cesarean or if a vaginal delivery to them was better than their cesarean. Like, I go back and forth all the time, and I wanted to dig up some research and then do pros and cons, and then I wanted to get a poll and hear back from everybody, and then I will share that info if anonymously, or if anybody wants me to put their point of view out there, I totally will. But that's what I'm doing. So this is just at 15 minutes. This is what I wanted. 10 minutes was too short, 30 minutes was too long, so I'm going to stop there. But if anybody has any questions or comments moving forward, reach out, and I will answer them, or I will address them in the videos coming forward. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you liked it. Again, I love constructive criticism. I feel like it's made me the person I am today. So if you think I could be doing something better, or I should or shouldn't do something that would affect my channel, please tell me. Anyway, we'll see you soon.